Welcome to this edition of the Million Dollar Mastermind podcast. This is where we pick the brains of high achievers from all walks of life and get their hard-earned, real-world insights on winning. I'm your host, Larry Weidel. Now, you've been able, both your boys are in the business, but they didn't grow up in high school wanting to join the business. They had other interests. And it's important to let them find their own way and make their decision about what they want to do. Absolutely. Because that's really the only way any of us are going to be super successful, is because we decide for ourselves, this is what we want. Yep. But it's kind of hard to have that hands-off things with kids. But what else can you do? So what are some of the phases they went through?
Okay, well, Bo, our youngest, when he first got out of college, he wanted to be a professional race car driver. So you know how you make $1 million being a race car driver? You make $2 million.
Yeah.
It's not a big money-making situation until, way down the road when you get big sponsors and stuff. So he tried that for a while, and he was really good at it, but he could see this being a long-term thing,
Yeah.
So then he got a real job. And, all his friends getting out of school, they were getting jobs. So he got a job, and he was sitting in a cubicle. And he says that one day he calls Mayor, and he's like, well, how are you? And she's like, are you okay? Are you fine? And he's like, well, yeah. She says, well, we have tornado warnings. And he didn't even know, because he's sitting in the middle of this building in a cubicle. He has no windows. He can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the guy next to him had been there for 20 years. And at the end of the year, he gets a 1% raise. And Bo's like, okay, and Bo said everybody in the office thought he was crazy, because he would walk in and walk down the aisle, and he's like high-fiving everybody. And, they have a little meeting in the conference room, and it's supposed to start at 10 o'clock. He's there at 10 minutes till 10, because Dad always says, show up early and stay late for everything. So he's there early. Nobody else is there until 10:00. They all show up at once. And he's like, guys, the meeting was supposed to start at 10. You got to be ready for the meeting to start at 10. And I mean, it was a whole different mindset, I guess, from the way he had been raised and the way he had watched our business grow. And it was kind of a culture shock to him. And he lasted a little over 2 years. And then he's like, okay, Dad, tell me again about this Primerica thing. He didn't stay in the corporate world too long. It was not his cup of tea.
Yeah. And how many years did he do the racing?
Probably, I would say 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years.
But those are all learning experiences too.
Yeah.
They're kind of priceless learning experiences, if you go on and find your natural spot,
Right.
We've had a lot of people be successful came out of racing, of one motorcycle racing, car racing, bicycle racing, whatever. There's something about racing that the mentality of racing rather than just working,
Yeah. Now he's off of cars and onto bicycles, so it's okay.
Oh, is he? Oh.
But it's not his means of income.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so as you've gone out there, what have you seen that you guys have learned from? And in life, you either continue to improve or you go backwards. And so I've seen you guys, continue to develop other interests, other activities. You're always fresh, you're always energized, and that's not that's a decision. And so, it shows up in the way you present yourself and all of that. So what have you guys, what do you do that keeps you fresh and keeps you moving forward and developing? Because you keep, you got your kids to keep inspired, your organization coast to coast. And I'm one of those who believes that an organization will not outgrow the leader. And so you always I used to carry this around in my mind, that I never wanted to be the reason our organization did not have, a fantastic year. I didn't want to be the one that put a lid on what our possibility was. So that's why I'd always come up with these crazy goals and unbelievable projections and projects because I didn't want to be guilty of small thinking. And so what have you guys found that's the most rewarding for you personally to keep putting your time and energy in that pays off in allowing you to continue to develop?
Okay, I think we still have goals, but the thing that pays off and keeps us excited and motivated is not reaching one of those goals. We feed off the people. I mean, it's their goals almost. It's their successes. It's the things that they're accomplishing that keep us excited. And as long as they have goals and it's almost like you can't help but be excited. You can't help. We love to be around our people because it's so inspiring. It's so uplifting. It's great for us. We feed off of that.
Yeah.
So people say, oh, well, don't you get tired? I mean, you guys are old. You're almost 80 years old and you're traveling and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's what keeps us going. That's what keeps us young. We love it.
Yeah. People ask me, why do I do the big hitter call on Mondays? I said, I do it to keep me from turning into a grumpy old man.
That's good. I like it.
I was like, you don't need to do that. I said, oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. It's so true.
And so as you guys have not neglected your spiritual growth. Talk about that.
Okay. Well, I think that's another outgrowth of this business. It's that you see the things that happen to people and then you see bad things happen to people. And you want to, our pastor said the other day that people don't study the end times to stock their freezer. They study the end times because it makes them aware that they have a finite amount of time left on this earth to spread the word of God, to do good things for people. And I think that's kind of where our mindset is right there. That the more we can share our faith and share the things that we believe in with people, the happier we are.
Why? There's a mentality from people that have not had great success, have not had, they're not exposed to people who are successful. And the mentality that people like you and Bobby, that the success that you've had are, stuck up, hard, full of yourself. And, like basically, for lack of a better word, like the Hollywood celebrities, where it's all about, everybody's a narcissist and everybody's selfish and throwing temper tantrums and screaming at people behind closed doors. But what I've found that super successful people, by and large, are pretty nice.
Well,
what's been your experience?
I agree. And I think that especially in our business, because people don't come into our business as super successful people, and they're down to earth and they're real people. And that's what they keep that. They keep that mindset. They don't become these people that become the center of their own universe. They become their organization becomes the center of their universe. Other people become the center of their universe. I think when we're all babies, an infant is the center of their universe, and that's part of growing up, is learning that you're not the center of your universe. That it's things are a lot bigger than you. That God's in charge of everything, not us. And I think our business helps people realize that.
Yeah, and as you move forward, looking at your future. Oh, one thing I've thought along that line is that to do great things, you have to have a team. And the people that achieve great things have a team. And a lot of times to have a great team, you have to build, rebuild, this, that, and the other. And you get to where you go through a lot of rotten eggs. And so when you get some good people, you treat them right. And you're under a lot of stress. Maybe you pop off occasionally because of just the stress situation. But by and large, you want to take care of everybody around you because you don't want to have to go through the problem of replace them at all. And you realize the value they add to your life. Do you think that's one of the reasons why, when we moved to the nice side of town in Greensboro, everyone said, no, don't go over there. Everybody's stuck up. They're all snobs. They won't talk to you. I found the nicest people, some of the nicest people in the world were in the new neighborhood,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
do you think that has something to do with it? The fact that to do great things, you've got to build a big team, and you've got, you're responsible for creating that, attitude is everything. And if you've got a positive attitude, people are more likely to perform in a positive way.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Yes. I think that loving on your team is so critical in our business. And we've had people come into business or look at our business and say, well, I'm just not money motivated. I want to do something great for people. I want to do something that's important. And we found out that you can do a lot more important things for people if you have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Then, if you're just trying to survive, it's harder to do great things for other people. You can influence a lot more people with money than you can if you don't have it.
Well, one of the things, when you get the resources, you get a chance to explore things that you're curious about. And I think those things are valid because it refreshes you. Either you love it, you keep doing it, or not. I know, talk about some of the things you guys have done. I know Bobby, for a period of time, maybe even now, was big into motorcycles, and he would ride his motorcycle all the way to Colorado. And I've heard that you would follow him in a car. Is that right?
I've done that. He's driven the motorcycle out west several times. That was in our younger years. Yeah. but Bobby goes through phases. The kids tease him. It's kind of like you. You do your art, you do your photography. Bobby does that. He gets all into whatever he's doing. I mean, he dives into it with both feet. He's into motorcycle. Then he went through an art phase. Then, it's always something. And he gets excited about new things, and he doesn't lose interest in it. He just gets excited about something else.
Yeah.
So it just progresses further, but it's never boring.
Well, it's a lot like travel. You get exposed to different places, different things, how different ways different people think. And it helps expand your viewpoint of the world, and also possibilities, because leaders have to come up with solutions and solve problems. When things go wrong in your family and in your universe, people can't handle it. They're going to come looking to you. And, it's good if you can come up with something positive for them, and those experiences help, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yes, for sure. I think the more experiences you have in your life, the more well-rounded you are, the more you can relate to people in whatever situation that they're in.
What are the things that you are looking forward to this year and the next few years that maybe, of all the things you guys have done, places you've been, activities and everything, that you're looking forward to, maybe that you haven't gotten to yet, just simply because you haven't had the time? Like what, he's on the motorcycles. What would you like to be doing?
Well, I'm kind of a homebody. I like being at home. I love being around my kids and my grandkids, and we're looking forward to more great grandbabies. And it's just, I'm kind of a family homebody type. I'm over travel. I've been everywhere in the world that I ever want to go, and I've been most places I want to go 2 or 3 times. And I'm kind of done with that. But I love being around family and friends.
Absolutely. So what would you say to wrap things up here? And I always give my guests a chance to have a final word. What would you say if you want to, we have some people that are entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs or want to grow their business and want to go on another surge. What would you pass on to them from your vantage point that could be a big difference maker that they might not think about?
Well, I think it's the same things that you and I did, and Bobby, is that you just don't quit. If you found the niche that you want to pursue and you're happy in it, don't quit. Don't become discouraged. Just keep on keeping on. Just put one foot in front of the other, and good things will happen. If you just keep working hard and handle your money, good things will happen. That was Art's mantra to us. He said that to us over and over and over in the early years. Just keep working hard and handle your money, and good things will happen. And I mean, you went through that. We went through that. Everybody goes through that, and you don't see light at the end of the tunnel, but that's okay. You don't worry about the light at the end of the tunnel. You just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
All right, Red. That's as good as anything I could imagine you would come up with. Great parting words. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you've enjoyed it.
This has been so much fun. Thank you, Larry.
Thanks for listening to the Million Dollar Mastermind. If you felt there were any valuable takeaways from this episode, please take a minute and leave us a 5-star review. Your feedback is important and really helps us get the word out to a wider audience. Remember, we have a valuable webinar that is absolutely free. Register for it right now at WeidelOnWinning.com. Thanks for listening.